Well, we'll see what happened. Let's go.
558 days that you talked yourself into. And when you're back there thinking, think about this, how you took a case with a maximum 30-day sentence and parlayed that to 558 days.
Right. Okay.
So
Welcome to What Had Happened Was.
Where we take a peek into actual court cases and give you commentary based on our unique perspective and experiences, and also give you informational tips and tricks to help you avoid a what had happened situation.
Before we get started, give us a thumbs up, a tasteful comment. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of every video as they come out. All defendants are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Oh, there they are. I'm sorry. Court does call the cases of the people versus Daryl Jarrell.
Conrad Stiller on behalf of Simpson Township.
Ron Bronapig on behalf of Daryl Jarrell, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Daryl Jarrell.
Defense counsel has filed an emergency motion to attempt to purge the contempt in this matter.
Welcome to What Had Happened Was.
So we're back with part 2 of Mr. 558.
Yes. I called an emergency motion too.
Yeah, when your client is about to eat 18 months for using the wrong 2 words to the wrong person, one that starts with F and the other one starts with U, and then he said it to the judge.
Starts with you or ends with you?
I'm sorry, ends with you.
There you go.
Well, the word is you.
Yes.
So yeah, I would want to get. I want to get rid of prejudice too.
Yeah, he's about this some serious time.
There's people doing more time, less time for worse things.
That is so true.
You have.
And I first give the floor to my client.
Pardon?
I'm giving my client the floor.
I bet he is sorry after sitting there for a week and counting that thing. He probably sat there with a piece of paper and was like, 558. A year is 365. 18 months.
I'm sure that wall got some marks on it from him counting, scratching up the days. I know he started thinking about every movie he could think of.
And that's not a good time served. That's a day for day.
Yeah.
That's a day for day. I don't think you could get anything like they either got
no time off or nothing like that.
No, I think you got to, whatever you get, you get.
You got to eat those 93 days. Yeah.
Ooh.
558. Ooh, that's
Your Honor, there's no excuse for what I done, man. I lost my composure and I directed my frustrations at you. I apologize for being disrespectful to you and your court, wasting time with the people. Hopefully you accept the apology and reconsideration of the time you've sentenced me to. Thank you.
Your Honor, we have referred him to our aimed social work division to help him work through in some of the personal issues that he's going through that culminated in his outburst in court. You've been a judge for a very long time, set a very high bar for people as they appear before you. I think we communicate differently. Some people, even though it's socially inappropriate, use profanity, and profanity can be used as an attention getter. And I think it got the court's attention, but he's in need of service.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he got everybody's attention.
I think he did.
Because Mr. Allen was about to roll up on him when he started saying all of that.
Yeah, he got my
That's
attention.
why he went to the back. That's why he went to the back.
I think he got more attention than he actually needed at that time.
He probably needed help. I'm quite sure he needs help, but he didn't need, like, he might have said something.
Well, yeah, they said that they put him in their system for assistance. He needs help. He has some personal issues. He's working.
But he went about it the wrong way.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened. That caused.
But we'll see. I'm quite sure the judge is going to break it down.
Yeah, let's see how this unfolds.
He's in need of services, Your Honor. He's in need of services, and we're trying to sort through a plan to present to the court.
So they're coming up with a different plan.
Yes.
It seemed like the first plan he came up with was he was going to say something completely out of pocket to the judge.
Right, which he did.
And he got 558 days.
That's the plan.
Which is guaranteed right now.
Guaranteed.
He's got 18 months.
3 squares a day, medical insurance, health, everything. He got services right there.
Gym services. He can work out. Everything. I mean, it's not the best quality.
Reading. He can go to the library.
He can
studies.
He might even get some certifications.
Again, got enough time.
So I don't know.
So the plan he got, just not a good plan, but he had a plan he presented to the court already.
Yes, I say this to the judge, and
Which he did.
because if you look at part one,
That was his
he
plan.
said that he wasn't trying to be there.
Nope.
He was trying to leave because he had somewhere else he wanted to go.
Yes.
And then he switched it around and with 2 words,
Yep.
bought himself 18 months.
A guaranteed plan.
You see how not every idea is a good idea?
I see it.
I don't know.
We'll see.
If you would accept his humble apology to help him move the cases forward.
Anything from the people?
Well, Your Honor, we were all present for it. I had a chance to review the video. It's actually worse than what the court noted. I'm sure the court's has seen the video, but it was worse than what the court noted.
The prosecutor didn't even need to go say anything. The original charge would have been 30 days.
That's it. And maybe a fine.
So he went 18 times the amount.
Yeah, literally.
18 times the amount. Because and the judge is sitting there saying, and the prosecutor's like, I don't need to say anything because this is way above my pay grade with this.
Yep.
All he needed to do, and the whole reason why the judge was trying to postpone him for 2 weeks is because in the original case, the gentleman starts speaking about how he doesn't have a cell phone, he doesn't have a phone, he doesn't have any means of communication,
He had no email either.
So the judge is sitting there saying, this man's going to have to get a letter, they're going to have to get an address for him, he's going to have to wait to receive the letter, then he's going to have to respond back to it. So I don't want to push him through quickly, and he doesn't have any way to communicate or any way to answer all these things.
Yep.
I will leave it to the discretion of the court, but if there's going to be a modification or change of the sentence imposed by the court, I would certainly like there to be a plan in place for Mr. Corral. That would be the minimum or would be the alter or changes of sentence.
Mr. What was going on with you?
Well, there's a lot of issues that I'm under currently. One, I'm unemployed. I can't obtain a driver's license. Without those, it's hard to provide for yourself. The charges, once we get into it, you'll see that they're frivolous charges. They should have never been brought to the court's attention. They're minute trespassings that aren't even trespassing. I used an easement for one, and the other one should have been dismissed. Just frustrations, man. There's no excuse for what I've done. You wanted an in-depth look. I shared some things. I mean, it falls on me, man.
He would have said all of this that day.
He's so eloquent just now.
The judge would have might have sat there and made some phone calls and said, listen,
yes,
we have this man, he's literally sleeping in the street, and I need him to come back and answer for court.
Or to told the lawyer, hey, listen,
we have to find something for him to go or something because he
because a lot of these courts also have social workers sitting there in the courtroom also. And I know he did that before. There was a social worker right there in the middle of the court in another case that we did. And she asked, he stopped the case and asked her to step in
and provide services.
Yep.
And he would have had this for this gentleman because Judge Simpson, in the awesomeness that he is,
yes, he is
done that.
Awesome.
And that's what dropping F-bombs.
Played yourself on that one.
No, he does.
And he realizes that this case, many other people are watching, and how the court handles it. We're hopeful that others won't use this as an example to act out as well.
Well, but from the very beginning, the one thing that, as Mr. Brown correctly points out, I've been doing this a minute. And, Mr. Terrell, you were in my court, and I watched you because you were sitting in the back. And you were sort of a dichotomy of things for me. Because as you sat back in the back of the courtroom, you sat there very respectful. You had your ball cap on. You came through, you took your ball cap off. You did everything. You sat in that back row, just patient as all could be. When you came up, you again, initially it was fine. You were maybe upset by the charges, but a lot of people were like that.
Right.
And it was going fine, and I could overhear, just so that you understand what I was trying to do, I overheard, as you were talking to your attorney, that you didn't have a phone.
Right.
You didn't have email. More than anything in the world, I was worried that you weren't going to be able to have adequate time. I would have just normally set it 2 weeks out, done whatever. And I was trying to give more time, not to delay it,
Yeah.
but to try to make sure that if you had to get in touch with Ms. Pirney by letter, you guys had to do that or do whatever,
Yeah. See, I was thinking
that
about the other.
there be time for that to happen.
See,
Yep, I see.
the judge said
He said it.
all the things he said. He's very observant.
Yep.
So you think that he didn't see when he came in the courtroom? He saw when he came in the courtroom. He saw how he behaved in the courtroom. This man never stood up, never was acting a certain way, and then you come up to the podium and start acting like that.
Right. And initially you came to the phone, he was fine. And then he said he overheard him saying as to how he has no communications. So he kind of understood, oh, this cat's really jacked up. Oh,
He's
man.
like, I don't know how he's going to be able to maintain communication.
Let me make sure I get him, a really, really, hook up, fair shot so he can get an adequate, representation.
And then if he would have sat there and said, well, Your Honor, I don't have a current place to stay or whatever, so I don't know how I'm going to receive the mail, the judge might have been like, what do you mean? He would have, if he would have elaborated on all of that calmly, but
He would have resolved it for him.
And that seemed to aggravate you, but I think, when I look at it, you were aggravated because you thought the system was kind of dragging out.
Good.
But I was doing that for your benefit.
My apologies. I'm again misunderstood.
And so then when you wanted me to, then you wanted it done sooner. So then I said, okay, I just said, well, I'll move up to date. I didn't know it wasn't going to be helpful for you, but what the heck?
see, the judge is like, I was trying to explain to you, but you said move it up. And I'm trying to say, how is me moving it, making it go through quicker, going to help you? You're already in front of the judge.
That's right.
You need to answer. You need to come up with your circumstances or whatever. We need to review it.
Solution.
So how does me pushing the data help you with, you don't even have enough time. You don't even have a way to electronically receive any information.
Right. But what he said was, well, if that's what you want,
But if that's what you want,
I'll do it for you. I don't think it's going to be good, but I'll still do it for you because I want to give you whatever I'm trying to give you whatever you need. If that's going to work for you, then then you must have some plan to make it work. But apparently, he had plan B. Because
maybe he was going to say that he had somebody else's email he could do it or somebody else's phone or whatever, but he said he doesn't have anything.
Right.
And then that's when you went off.
I did.
And I've had people go off in front of me before. Doesn't bother me. It's gonna happen, I guess. But you just got yourself worked up to the point that as you were headed down and out, I'm just thinking, I don't know why you want to battle. It's a battle you can't win.
Right. Silly me.
Yeah, silly, stupid. There's a lot of words. Maybe start with that because it didn't make any sense.
No, not at all. You're right, man.
Right? And I'm going to tell you something. I'm not saying this to embarrass you because you're in good hands with the folks at the public defender's office. You need a break, right?
Yes, sir.
You need something to go in your direction.
Yes.
Yeah. And it seems everything, you can correct me if I'm wrong, everything you had been doing, none of it was quite working out. trying to get rid of stuff. This was one of the things you wanted it done and gotten rid of so you could try to move on to that next thing.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying this again, I'm not saying this to embarrass you, but sometimes things get tough. You get yourself wound up. You get to a point, and then for a brief moment you regret it. You're not sure where to head. Am I right?
Yeah, sometimes.
And I think even that day, for a brief moment, you regretted what had happened.
Absolutely. As soon as I said it, but I was fueled.
And it's because when you got back there, and all of a sudden that door shut behind you and locked up, you realized something.
Oh man.
Yeah. And as it was described to me, right or wrong, you were sort of laying there on the floor crying.
Wrong. I was sorrowful.
Look,
I may or may not have.
no,
I don't
listen,
recall.
Just listen. There's no embarrassment.
Mhm.
There's not. I got it reported to me
Right.
because I was worried about you. I
Okay.
didn't. Nobody was trying to say to embarrass you or do anything. You had gotten yourself to a certain point. Something.
You see how they're having a nice interaction, a nice conversation?
Very good conversation.
This is what the judge wanted to have, and the judge was trying to explain to him certain things. And now that he's reflected on it, and he's saying, "Oh, yes, I don't have anything," because he didn't even say, "Well, I could give you somebody else's email. I don't have this, I don't have that, but I do have somebody who does have that." You know, we don't think that in this day and age that there are people that do not have email, that don't have cell phones, but there are people that still exist that do not have cell phones because maybe they don't have a way to pay for it, or maybe they don't have anything.
Every day, someone's still getting their first cell phone for the first time.
Right. Well, they don't know how to operate a computer. They don't know how to do things. They don't know. They don't have an email set up. They don't know how to get in. I know people that every time they get a new phone, they have to do a new email address because they don't remember their sign-ins.
Yep. And here's the irony. This is the arrogance of the communication age, unfortunately, is the fact that everyone takes it for granted that everyone has communications and everyone has an email and everyone does not. But
the judge is still in a position to know that not everybody has this.
Yes.
Got out of control. And now you had to figure, you took a circumstance that was kind of bad, made it even worse. Now you have to figure out how to get out of that.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. You had left here that day. Have a place to stay, do you?
No, I'm currently homeless.
Yeah.
The Delana Center.
Pardon?
The Delana Center.
But are you there most of the time?
They have a waiting list period.
Yeah.
So as long as you continue to check in, I think they do a triage to know that you're interested in a room there. They'll continue to screen you, and when one comes available, they'll offer it for housing.
I hope his master plan wasn't to sit in jail for a week or two and then hope that, there's a room will call for the homeless shelter. He can jump.
But where were they going to call him at? Because he has to check in.
Exactly. And he
has to check in.
And you can't check in from behind the county jail.
So that wasn't a good plan.
That wasn't a good plan at all.
Until then, you sleep wherever you can, couches, wherever, tents, bridges, parks. As long as the cops don't push you along,
So he's transient.
Yes,
he's
he
staying
is.
from place to place, and he's just going, hoping that the cops don't bother him enough. He can get a little bit of sleep or whatever.
Yep.
So he's basically, he said he's staying in the easement, which is almost pretty much like you sleeping in the alley.
Yeah, that's where the trespass comes at, because guess what?
Because if
The
you
property owner says there is no easement, then you're not trespassing, and then
Right.
you have to fight that out. It's your word against his, and he owns the property, you don't. So
it's the same thing like if you're in the alley and they come out to take out the garbage or whatever, and you're there, they can say, "Oh, you're dangerous" or whatever. They don't feel safe or things,
Right.
whatever they have to do. But so he's in the wrong place.
wrong time.
So the reality is you didn't have a place to go, right?
Oh, no, I don't have a place to go. No.
All right.
Judge, he's even sleeping.
Pardon?
He was sleep deprived. He's sleeping. He's
Yeah,
got a roof over
I
his
probably
head.
was sleep deprived a little bit too. Man, I couldn't stop.
Sleep deprived. Sounds more like grasping at straws.
Well, now you know what happens is I find that sometimes when the clients start talking, they start to talk the judge back out of the leniency because he's going too far. He should have just apologized and just stopped. Yes, I might have
Yes.
been sleep deprived. I agree. And just left it like that because he got in trouble for talking too much the last time.
Yes, but the lawyer was the one that brought up the sleep deprived thing.
Yeah,
He
because
didn't
now
bring it
he
up.
just keeps trying to make it seem like, well, can you let him go now? No, I don't know. 'Cause he's got to do some time because he sat there and did that. Because once again, he has to hold the line.
Mhm.
If he lets everybody
Mhm.
go after saying anything, then everybody will do it.
Yeah, so we'll see. See how this defense works.
Not falling asleep. Did you notice that? Couldn't, man.
I just thought it was my relaxing voice and personality. Mr. Allen, actually today, you look a whole lot better than you did that day.
Thank you. I feel better too.
Before you came in, when was the last time you ate?
I ate probably the day before.
So you hadn't eaten that whole day.
No. I actually went to eat, but I didn't have enough time to jump on the bus and come back, so I skipped it. Yeah. I think I may have had some donuts for breakfast, though.
Okay.
I think I may have.
What do you think I would do with you after what you did?
You can do anything you want with me, Your Honor.
Oh, I know I can.
What I would like you to do for me is to let me go, and we'll have continued scheduling of the September 4th date. And you'll see that I've told you the truth about the charges that are pending. They'll probably even get thrown out by then.
So maybe if he would have waited, it probably would have gotten thrown out.
A very good chance it could have been.
Instead of him having this contempt case. And now he's like, well, you can do whatever you want with me, Judge. But you know what?
I'd like for you to.
Yeah, like just let me go.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be able to get away scot free for
He
this.
can't. No, there's no
He
way.
has to set an example. There's no way.
That
I
that
don't
was
know.
an extreme. I'm sorry.
Right. It was extreme.
That was an extreme
That
contempt
was
of
extreme.
court. He's got to pay.
And after that other case where the gentleman, you remember that? It was in the news. The guy jumped on the judge.
Yes.
During the sentencing. Like you can't. I don't know.
You can't do these things. Listen, this is again. Here's a tip. Here's a trick. Tip is behave yourself in court. Trick is close your mouth and don't talk so much, and let it play itself out, and find out again. Ask a question, but do it respectfully.
Unless you have a channel, in which case you say whatever you want. But
yes, if you have a YouTube channel, you
say
do
whatever-
reactions. You can say anything you want within reason.
Pardon?
Once the prosecutor reviews them, they should probably get thrown out.
Well, probably you're about to try to make another mistake. And that is you're trying to practice law, even though it's about your case and you don't have a law degree. Why don't you leave it to the experts that are around you?
And,
Yeah.
sounds good.
he's a fountain of
Wisdom, yes.
and
Yes.
patience.
This is the prime
So I'm
example
gonna tell you,
of when he should just be quiet and not say so much.
7 days.
Sit back.
7 days makes a big difference.
A
'Cause I'm
long
quite
time to
sure
reflect.
You know, there's no easement there.
No, no easement. No, no, not at all. Nope. But again, this is when he now he wants to sit there and practice law at the no. You have a lawyer, fall back, let him say he's your mouthpiece. Let him speak for you. He's about to jam himself up because he's
getting too familiar.
Yeah. And that saying that familiarity breeds contempt.
I think he's suggesting that you suspend or hang it over his head, the contempt, if
Okay,
not
was that we sent him in?
purge, Your Honor.
The seven. I got it here in here. It was the 7th. Today's the
No, set him for September.
No, I know I set him for September, but I said sentence. That's what. Yeah. I can't just let you walk away from it. What you did is, and so that you understand, this really isn't about you or me. It's about you,
Yeah.
but it isn't about me. You can say all those things you want, but the one thing in the past 25 years, I will tell you, I do not let people just disrespect this institution and walk away.
Right.
Sorry. It won't happen with me, and I'm sure Mr. Brown has told you that. I just don't.
Who thinks that he's leaving today? Put a 2 in the comments if you think he's leaving. Put a 1 if you think he's staying.
As the
If,
judge
if
said,
you listen to what the judge is saying,
he said he will not let anyone disrespect this institution, just like another case we did with the one where, why won't you give me what I want? She disrespected the court and talked about how, doctors are better than lawyers. She played herself on that one. It's not going to happen. Not going to sit there and disrespect the
but it could. It could happen.
It could,
That's
yeah.
one.
In the bizarre world, maybe.
Okay.
Not in reality.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Okay.
I understand, however, and balance that against sort of where you are and what you're trying to do. So we're currently set for September at 9 a.m. What I'm going to do regarding the contempt, I'm going to work it this way. I will grant to a certain extent the motion, and I'm going to reformulate the 558 days that you talked yourself into. And when you're back there thinking, think about this, how you took a case with a maximum 30-day sentence and parlayed that to 558 days.
Right. Okay.
Boom.
Right there.
Bob, he said, think about how you talked yourself into this sentence.
Yep.
How you took a 30-day sentence that I could have even commuted to whatever you had and gotten rid of it. How you talked yourself into now being 18 months. Because once you started rolling, you didn't stop.
No, he didn't. He did not.
Because even if he would have said, oh, and then he said, I'm sorry, blah, 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 and started explaining, that might have been better then. But now, of course, after sitting in there for a week, you're remorseful. Now, is he remorseful? Nobody's saying he's not. But once again.
And he also said, I'm going to reformulate. I'm going to grant the motion to a certain extent. I'm going to reformulate the 558.
But he's going to do some of that time. I think he's going to do at least 93 days. I think at least he's going to do 93
I agree. I concur on that.
I don't think that he's going to get out without doing something, because he's going to have to sit there and think about them days and how much longer it could be.
So what I'm going to do is take the 558 days. I will indicate defendant is to serve 93. I will give him credit for the 6 that he's been in and suspend at this time the balance.
Thank you.
When we come back, so it's down to 93 now. When we come back on the 4th, I'll consider whatever else I might do regarding that sentence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Whether or not you serve the rest of it is going to be dependent upon your behavior, how you come into court.
See, he's gonna eat at least one of those charges. Now he may compress it and make it into what's it, not consecutive, concurrent. He might make it into concurrent and have him, but he's gonna eat at least 93 of those days.
Well, according to what he's saying, yeah, right now he's getting credit for the 6, but he's still going to do the 93.
He's still gonna do something.
And right now he's going to suspend it so they can get him situated in a better position. But he can still come back and he can be let out right now and still come back and serve the rest of that time.
Right.
I don't ask anybody to, talk up to me. They don't have to like me. That's not my job. I'll tell you what, I like this Jarrell better than that other one I saw.
Right.
So let's just keep that up. You'll at least, and I don't like doing it this way, and I don't like saying it, you'll have a place, right? You're going to be eating regularly, and you're going to be looking a whole lot better, I think. I don't like doing it this way, but
Right.
maybe some benefit can come out of it, and you'll be able to get with their AIM division and see if we can just get certain things in place for you.
Right on.
All right, fair enough?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I can ask for. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what, don't thank me. That man standing beside you, that's who you need to thank, because he was on me and he was trying to explain and trying to make sure he didn't want to say anything off the record without Mr. Siller there, but he was in your corner batting for you. And so you ought to be thankful for that. Because quite frankly, whether you sat there 558 days or not, I was going home for dinner. So
There you go. Not playing. He said, I'm going home for dinner. You
Right.
ain't doing 558. I'm going home for dinner.
This is, once again, he dug himself into that hole.
Yes, he did. And then jumped right on in.
And they kept digging on the way down.
wouldn't have mattered to me.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Write what I wrote in one file and the other one. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks for watching.
And also give us a thumbs up, like, comment, share. Subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified of every video as they come up. And get that algorithm going and help us build this channel in 2024.
And make sure that you don't wind up in a what had happened situation. Boom, boom, boom.